Hello and welcome back to the Rule of Two here on the Xxiii Cinema Reviews channel. It is the 23rd episode of this show here on this channel, and we're so happy that you decided to join us for this discussion. If you don't know, this is a Star Wars podcast show. We'll go with podcast. This is a Star Wars thing here on this channel where we take 2 to 3 topics in the world of Star Wars and we talk about them because we're fans and that's what we do. With me, as always, is the Leia to my Luke, Miss Sister.
Yes, I'm glad to be back after our
hiatus. There wasn't a 23rd episode last week because we were on vacation. So, sorry, but not sorry. I was on vacation. Anyway, yeah. So today we will be reviewing Lando Double or Nothing issue number 3. And then we're going to talk about the Star Wars episode 9 cast was announced, so we'll talk about some of the juicy actors. Juicy not actors, the juicy roles they could be playing. Some of the new people, like well, we'll get to that. Anyway, let's start off with Lando Double or Nothing. Gotta admit, I enjoyed this issue way better than issue number 2. Yeah, what did you think about it?
Well, the series has so far, what is this, number 3? It's been underwhelming so far. And I was gonna say episode, but issue number 2 was horrible.
It was kind of lame, yeah.
So boring.
Pretty
this
terrible.
one, more eventful. It was okay. It was fine.
Yeah. Lando, this will be a spoiler thing, so if you care about the Lando Double or Nothing, you should have gotten it because the comics at your local comic book store come out on Wednesdays. That is Comic Book Day, and that's when they are released. So you should, if you really care about spoilers, then you should have picked this up already and read it. So yeah, he's trapped or imprisoned in the previous issue, in issue number 2, and in this one he escapes. Woo! And he finds his way to the Falcon, and it's I did like a lot more of the banter between him and L3. How, you know, he took the communicator or the he took the communicator off of a droid, and L3 just gives him a hard time for it. Not that that was pretty funny.
Because she's all about civil rights and stuff.
Droid rights.
In the last one, there was nothing happened,
pretty
and
much.
It was mostly him just in his mind being arrogant. And
he just got caught at the end.
Being very egocentric, and in this one, there's a little bit more of that, which I do like that about him.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That we get sort of the inner monologue. But I also really love L3, so I'm glad that we were able to get more banter with her.
What's her name? Christus? Yeah, Christus didn't do much in this episode. That's the lady that hired Lando. She just kind of was working in the factory.
Right. As always, though, the
artwork's great.
Was great, and cover art. Great.
I think the cover art's probably the best that it's been so far. I do like Lando's inner monologue. I like that he mentioned he lost his cape and that he's really, really bummed out about that. Which is super funny.
This is before Solo, a Star Wars story. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he still has a Falcon.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
And he looks like Donald Glover.
It's kind of, yeah.
I don't really have much to say about this, though.
There's not really a villain yet.
No.
There's no villain, so it's hard for me to be like, ooh, these are the bad guys. The villain is kind of the General Empire.
Yeah, and then there's some blue guys, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they're not the villains for the main story arc.
Right. So. There's not much to say about this, though. I feel like it's dragging, but it might just be because I'm reading it once. Do these come out once a month?
Once a month,
right?
yes.
So it's a little bit
It's yeah.
boring, but
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the job that Christus hired him to do was to smuggle weapons onto the planet so that her and her family and her people can liberate themselves from the Empire.
uh-huh.
And so it's kind of taking it one issue at a time, where first issue he gets hired, second issue he gets captured, this issue he escapes, and now they're about to do the big escape with all the people because Lando's coming in hot with some weapons.
Yes, but the people,
The people don't want to go.
they don't really want to go.
It's very Stockholm syndrome, where they're like, you know what, we could fight the Empire or we could just live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they prefer to live, and it's like, that's just how it goes sometimes. They give you a quote unquote job, but it's really slavery. And as long as they don't kill you, the only other alternative right now is death. So, I mean, I could totally understand them, wanting to take life over death.
Yep.
But I wouldn't do it. I would.
Yeah. I will say though that has this like run, this Lando run is not so far as good as the first one.
Yeah, the first one was great.
Yeah, but that one was also the
That
Lando
one,
we knew just before we met him. Well, maybe not
right.
just before, but more or less before episode 5.
It was the Lando. It's kind of crazy because that Lando and this Lando are totally different. Where that Lando, you didn't have the inner monologue about how great he was.
Right.
He wasn't like bragging in his own mind to himself of his own greatness in that series.
Yes, which
He was just awesome. He
Right.
didn't have to you didn't have to remind the reader. The writers didn't have to remind us every panel, every page, you just knew because it's Lando.
Yeah.
It's like in this one, it's almost like the writers are trying to convince us that this is the same Lando.
But I think that's a testament to the fact that he is not yet at that level.
Right.
He has to constantly reassure himself that he is that amazing Lando.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the previous Lando run, he already knew it. He didn't need, whatever it was, he was just older, wiser, whatever.
Right.
And he was just that guy.
Yeah, he wasn't quite the leader of a city,
Yeah.
Cloud City at that point, but he was very much more mature than this Lando, which is cool.
I like to see a character arc.
It's always nice to see a character grow into what you see on screen.
And it's nice that the people who are doing these comics, they are like, even though that one was old Lando, or not old Lando, but
Hashtag my Lando.
regular Lando, and this is young Lando.
This is, yeah.
They're still able to go back and connect and make sure that there is an arc in the character, which I mean that has to be difficult with movies coming out and comics and books, and we're all over the place, but I feel like they're doing a good job of giving us a nice arc from this comic to the solo movie to the other comic to episode 5 and 6 and then the book.
Yeah, it's great. And then
I feel like they're doing a good job.
Last shot, of course.
Yeah. There's been actually a lot of Lando stuff, which is nice.
Which is great. Like, I had been saying that. I had said this over a year ago, back when they weren't doing so much original trilogy stuff. Like, the only things we really had was Bloodline and something like that. I have been saying this for a long time, that I think, yes, these new characters are great, and yes, having books like Lost Stars, dude, really, really enjoy it. But I can't wait, and I really want them to start doing more Han after episode 6, or that's really what I wanted. I want Han, I want Lando, I want the characters that I know.
Yeah.
And love, Lost Stars, love it. The Aftermath trilogy, great. But for me, it was you listen to the Timothy Zahn stuff, and I'm like, dude, that is Star Wars.
Right.
Because it's the characters you know, and you just want to get back to those characters. And I think that is something that's giving me like a bit of rose tinted glasses for this Lando Double or Nothing, because it's not the Lando from those books, the Timothy Zahn books or the movies until Solo. It's the younger Lando, which it's cool, but they're tricking me, you know.
Yeah.
It's I
Like, here's Lando, not quite what you wanted, Lando, but here's
exactly.
Lando. So far, I can't recommend this to anybody though. This like series,
Yeah.
this Lando
I would
comic
say
series.
read the other one.
Right, but who knows? It could really pick up
Yeah.
at the
I
middle,
think
or
it's 6 issues. It's
yeah,
probably 6 issues. And hopefully the next 3 issues, issues 4, 5, and 6 are just, really,
Yeah.
really great.
it could pick up
Hopefully.
and be just amazing.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's not.
It's not the greatest. It was kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. That's my I'm pretty much done. Do you have anything else to say about Lando?
Nope.
No. Next one, it looks like he has a flashlight in the next cover.
It reminded me of that Clone Wars episode
Mhm.
where they're on the ship with
Anakin-
Satine
Yes.
and
Anakin
Obi-Wan.
fights the big spider.
Yeah, and then the big
Yeah.
spider has little tiny baby spiders.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something similar to that.
I
There's,
assume that's a glow rod, right?
little robotic.
That their a flashlight is called a glow rod in Star Wars. I think that's a glow rod because that looks very much like a flashlight. It ain't no
does.
lightsaber.
It doesn't look like a glow rod though.
Right. I imagine glow rods is something else, but if they call that a glow rod, then that'll be the first time I've seen one.
Sure.
But I don't know. Anyway, that's the next issue. We'll get into that in a month from now. I wish it was a week. They should totally release those weekly.
Well, I guess they're just trying to stretch it out.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the cast of Star Wars Episode 9. And this was announced while we were gone.
Yes.
So...
Gonna read it off?
Yeah, well, I'll read off who's coming back. Returning cast members include Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o, Donald Gleason, Kelly Marie Tran, Jonas Suotamo, and Billy Lord. Joining the cast of Episode 9 are Naomi Ackie, Richard E. Grant, and Kerry Russell, who will be joined by veteran Star Wars actors Mark Hamill, duh, Anthony Daniels, duh, Billy D. Williams, finally, who will reprise his role as Lando Calrissian. The role of Leia Organa will once again be played by Carrie Fisher, using previously unreleased footage shot for Star Wars The Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams says, finding a truly satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga without her eluded us. We were never going to recast or use a CG character. With the support and blessing from her daughter, Billy, we have found a way to honor Carrie's legacy and role as Leia in Episode 9 by using unseen footage we shot together in Episode 7. So that's a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
But also Lando's coming back.
Yeah, so first let's talk about him. We just spent this whole time talking about this comic and how well they've done the art.
It lines up perfectly. Stars align. The Force
Right.
Awakens.
We've gotten young Lando, original Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting old man Lando.
Yes.
And I'm so excited
and
about
he's going to be as smooth and as cool as ever.
I'm really excited for it. I'm glad
I'm glad they
back.
Finally were like...
Because we do need those legacy characters.
We do.
Because they are so important to the foundation.
Exactly.
Even if it's just small roles.
Exactly, because Leia can't be in it that much.
Right.
Because there's... Like, as much as you could think about it, there can't be a lot of unused footage from Episode 7. That's just how I see it. But, like, maybe there's a whole movie worth. But I just don't see them having, like, a good chunky role like she was in Episode 8. I just don't see them having that much footage.
Yeah.
For Episode 9. I think it's great that they, somehow had extra footage.
Yeah.
Thank God for deleted scenes,
Well, back to the Billy D. Williams thing.
Oh, Billy D.
Yeah, I just want to talk about him for a second.
Okay.
I think it's like, I think it's good that we have him back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it's been since he's acted, so I'm a little bit like,
But it's
you know,
Billy
once an
D.
actor, you know, always an actor. I'm sure he could
It's
slide back
Billy
in.
D.
But I think it would have been so wrong to finish this trilogy and not have these people come back and do roles, especially if they want to. Like, he went to Celebration.
He wanted to.
I think after.
I bet you he was like
either before
finally.
or after Force Awakens.
I think it was before.
He went to Celebration, so he's totally in this.
Yes.
And they asked him about it, and he was just like, I don't know, they haven't called me, whatever.
I know, right? Pick up the phone.
So I think it would have been so wrong to like not have, especially these people who go to celebrations and who are involved, have them in there who are original people. And now it carries so much more weight because Carrie Fisher's not around anymore.
And Han literally can't be around.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
I just want him to like show up and have like not even a conversation face to face with Kylo, because that'll probably end in his death. Yeah. But I want like a conversation over their comms, and for him to just like school Kylo. Just make Kylo so mad, you know?
Right. Do a little bit of the
that's the Lando, you know?
Yeah. Just, you know, have him do like a hollow recording or something.
Yeah. And
just be like, boy, sit down. You know, like
only Billy D could do.
Exactly. So I'm very excited that he's back, and I can't wait to see how much they give him, honestly.
I hope it's big. I hope and I think it will be big.
I don't think it will be.
I think what's going to happen is the major female character that isn't Rey is going to be played by both Kelly Marie Tran and then Kerry Russell. I think that Kerry Russell is going to have a meaty role.
Yeah, I can see
kind of taking the place of Leia as being the main general.
More mature.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
So, because you ain't got Emily Haldo anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm super excited for Billy D. Like, the one thing I have to acting, it's like, when, you remember when, have you ever heard about when Donald Glover talked to him about being Lando?
Yeah.
How he just said, I don't know, just be cool.
You just be charming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just be charming, and that's Lando. Say your lines and do them with the most charm you can. I feel like Lando is one of the characters where it's like, yes, you can go method, but you don't have to. You're already Billy D.
Right. And that's one thing about Billy D. Wherever you see him at Celebration or wherever, every time you're just like, that's Lando.
He just looks cool.
He doesn't even have to try. Like, he's already this, like, suave
Do you think
guy.
he'll have the mustache?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I think Billy D has it now.
Yeah, he does. But you think they'll, like, make him thicken it up a little bit?
Maybe.
I hope so.
I don't know.
I want the old school Billy D thickened, you know. The thick mustache. Yeah. The 70s, 80s mustache, yeah.
Right, I think he'll keep the mustache.
I hope so. Yeah.
But the Leia Organa thing, I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around, like, how much did they shoot?
Yeah.
What kind of a role did she have in Force Awakens that they cut down enough to where she can still have a role in Episode 9?
Hopefully it's a good chunk. But
I know.
I just can't bring myself to have that kind of hope.
Yeah.
You know, to where it's like, oh man, I'm putting my expectations low so that when I do see it and it's not as much as she did in episode 8.
And I'm kind of just thinking it's going to be like hollow recordings where she's off somewhere doing something, you know, trying to help the political because they blew up
Hosnian Prime.
Yeah, right? They blew up the government,
pretty
so
much.
Maybe she's off doing that kind of stuff.
Maybe she's the new guy. I am the Senate.
So, that's horrible. No, I just think, part of me thinks that it's going to be hollow recording. I mean, because in my mind, there's also like, everything they shot for Force Awakens, she had to be in those costumes.
Right.
So I don't know what the planet. Dakar. Okay, great. So are they gonna like digitally change her costume or what's
know.
gonna happen here.
I don't think they do. And if they don't, it's, to me, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, Leia. No, you never saw Leia in like the same thing twice in 2 movies.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, I could believe that she would put the same clothes back on.
Not me.
It's like
well, actually, in the books, like they have like there's more of like, oh, she only has like this many.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might.
And like the hairstyles were all different as well. But then in the books, you read it and she's like, oh, just put it in the buttons, and you're just like, oh, so that's like a regular like going out for a run hairstyle.
That's right.
But
because it seems like she has a lot.
Yeah.
So it can be tough.
But I think those kind of things are what, like, if she's wearing the same thing, it'll bug me, but it'll be Carrie Fisher, so I won't care.
I think for me it'll be like, yeah, she just put the same thing on.
Yeah.
She just did a load of laundry and that was on top.
So I think, I don't know, I just can't quite wrap my mind around it yet, but I think JJ...
Like, it's gonna be tough.
I think JJ will have the respect and everything, like, for this. He will do it the best he can.
Yes.
And so I do have trust in him.
Yeah.
Even though he, like, barely gave us Luke and killed Han Solo, I still trust him.
I trust him because I think that he's not going to kill off another main character. And if he did, I don't think it would be one of the legacy characters. If he killed off Leia, I think I would be way more forgiving for that than if he killed off Lando. If he killed off Lando, I wouldn't be outraged, but I'd be like, dude!
Yeah.
It's the two swindlers in the galaxy!
It's a little bit like, what's the purpose?
Right.
Like, I can't...
Like,
there is no way... Like, well, yes, people love him, so if he died, there would be hurt for him. But there is no way that they can make him so important to the characters in the movie that...
his death would be the sacrificial thing that, like, put them over the edge,
So, I'm not sure, like, I don't see the purpose for that.
Right.
He's Lando. Yeah. Just let him live.
Exactly. Exactly. I think people will be way more forgiving if Leia does become one with the Force. Way better than Lando, because Lando, it's kind of like Han, where it's like, oh really, you're gonna have the old smuggler come back to his rebel roots one more time and then get killed by Kylo Ren. Like, what a shame.
Right.
That would be terrible.
And even I don't need him and Kylo to face.
Right. It'd be super cool if you just, like, verbally laid the smackdown.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that he's gonna probably go with Poe or Finn. Probably Poe, I would say. And just, you think Poe is cool? It's Lando.
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
Poe or Finn, but we had that picture that came out. There's that picture that came out, and it's like Poe, Chewie, and then I think Rey. It's very blurry, but we know that Poe is there. Or no, not Poe, but Finn, Chewie, and Rey.
I haven't seen that.
And it's in the Falcon. It's an officially released Star Wars thing. It's in the Falcon, and it's them 3. So I'm thinking that if Lando does talk to one of the main new characters, it'll be Leia first. He's, I hope they get that conversation. I don't know how it'll work.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it's not Leia, then he's gonna show Poe what's up.
Yeah. Quickly. So they said in the release of whatever, they said that this was the final...
Skywalker's, yes. The final...
movie of the Skywalker...
Final installment of the Skywalker saga.
Yes. What do you think of that?
That can change.
Real quick.
It depends.
I'm still, like... I will forever be... just rooting for a secret, like, Luke Skywalker child.
Yes, of course.
And as soon, like, all they need to do is, like, hint at it in something else that was, like, around that time.
Yeah.
And then we're back. 3 more. We
Luke
got
could just be
episodes
like-
10, 11, 12.
Luke's talking to Rey in Force Ghost, and he's like, "Oh, when my kid was 2 years old."
I know. Yeah.
He's like, you know
Like-
that blue milk that I had? That kid loved it.
Yeah, I mean, anything, like, I will always root for that because...
Yes, of course.
Because, you know, these
And they
Skywalkers
could-
and their secret children...
They could technically change what Rey is. You never know.
Sure.
But I don't think she would be a Skywalker.
No, I don't want her to be a Skywalker. She doesn't have enough grit.
They
No.
could change that. She
No,
could be like
she's fine.
Yeah.
She's not a Skywalker to me.
Exactly. Of course.
She's a nobody.
She's, parents are junkers.
She's a nobody.
Exactly.
It's fine.
Yeah, but final installment of the Skywalker saga. The only thing they have to do to continue the Skywalker saga is have Ben live.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or have him father a child in secret.
It's just like right away, right at the end. Like, they're just leaving the door open, maybe.
Right.
For this.
You just see a lady walk into his room, and then that's it. That's all you get. You don't even, see him walk into the room. You just see some lady walk into his room.
Yeah, like some stormtrooper. She takes off her helmet, looks around, and goes in.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah, that would be
yeah,
so
but
bad.
that's, the Skywalker saga, that's all you have to do.
I don't want that. I think, eventually they will come back after, whatever it is, these sagas.
Well,
with
the future of the
Rian
of
Johnson.
the thing is going to be Rey, Poe, and Finn.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So that's what they could mean. That doesn't necessarily mean that the saga films are ending just the Skywalker.
Right.
But by
Exactly.
saying that,
It's like, whoa!
they could be saying Ben is dying.
Yeah.
They
It
could
could
be
be.
saying that.
He's probably gonna die. I mean, you think
But-
about the end of
But
episode...
they wouldn't have said that.
But you think about the end of episode 6, Vader dies.
I know.
But technically not
But
dies.
why would they say that? Because that's such a giveaway to what's going to happen in the movie.
Well, I think that,
so I think he can't die now.
I think that one of the things is, we know for sure, Lucasfilm has not been great about planning out their movies.
Sure.
So this is as far as they planned. And they're like, this is the last one until next time.
I know. Yeah.
5 or 10 years after this one comes out, they're going to be like, and Ben Solo is back.
Right. But
He has gray hair.
Just a message to the Lucasfilm people.
Don't
wait 20 years.
Exactly.
Because-
Not 20.
I can't.
10 years between episode 3 and episode 7, I think worked out for them. Just generally kind of worked out for them because you had Rebels, which went from 2008 to 2012.
Right.
So that held people over. And you're going to obviously have the TV shows, the Rian Johnson stuff and stuff like that. But still...
Right. Do you think we're going to still get the Rian Johnson thing? Because people
Yes.
really hate him.
Dude is working on it.
Okay.
Dude is working on it.
I still like him. I like the movie.
Yes.
But I just feel so bad for him because I don't want these crazy internet people to drive him away.
I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him in the sense that now he knows. Chill it, bro. You bring a Jedi. If he does bring a Jedi into his thing, bro, people want to see some Jedi fighting. Hey, they might be pacifists, but dude, there's a reason they have a lightsaber.
This is why I think he should stay away, and this is why...
What?
I think he should stay away from Jedi and Sith and all that, and it gives me hope that maybe if he does stay away, I'll get my Smuggler's Zahn trilogy
The Hand of Thrawn duology, yeah.
Yeah, the cartel.
George Cardass.
Yeah, George Cardass, that gives me hope.
Him
but
versus the Hutts.
yeah, exactly. I need like gangs and stuff.
I need gangs in my Star Wars, yo.
Yes. So I'm like, I think maybe if he is like afraid to touch now the Jedi and the Sith, maybe we can get like these like cartels and stuff in Star Wars, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, cartels aren't cool, but
but
gangs
in
are
the universe, cool. Like it would make for a good story.
Who's the guy in the Timothy Zahn trilogy?
George Cardas?
No, the other one.
Oh, Talon Card.
Talon Card. I think if you brought that kind of a character, so cool. He's so good, and he's not like he really straddles the line of good and bad.
He's not Lando cool, but he just like.
But he runs a good operation.
A great operation.
Based off of information. So, so he's not like
giving
selling
him his
drugs
portfolio.
And stuff.
He's run a good operation for 10 years of his life.
I need him in the movies. That's what I need.
I think that would be a great TV show.
He could be great in the TV show because then you get a longer period of time.
There's a lot of stuff they could do, but the problem is I think that what Lucasfilm really doesn't want to do is retread Legends, which is like what? Because they're what they're doing is cherry picking from Legends, you know?
Yeah.
They're just like, and that's canon, and that's canon, but they don't want to do big stories that are Legends, which is like.
But maybe because they give Rian Johnson like a lot of like freedom.
I think,
if he's getting that same kind of freedom and he's scared of like touching the Jedi and the Sith again, he could totally do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just really want that.
Yeah, well, that's our tangent for what's going to happen after the supposed final installment of the Skywalker saga. But that's just our thoughts.
Not true, fake news.
Right, that's just our thoughts on these two topics of the Star Wars Episode 9 cast being announced, and then the Lando Double or Nothing issue number 3. But we would definitely like to know what you think about these two topics. So definitely tell us your thoughts in the comment section down below. Or hey, we're on Twitter at Xxiii Cinema Reviews. That link is in the description, and we have a Facebook page dedicated to our channel here, the Xxiii Cinema Reviews page. That link is also in the description. So if you would like to tell us something not on the YouTubes, go ahead and use one of those two platforms to make your voice heard. So yeah, we thank you very much for listening and watching this episode of The Rule of Two here on the Xxiii Cinema Reviews channel. We hope it was a good one for you. We hope you will tell us your thoughts whenever and wherever you want. So definitely be back next week, next Sunday, for the Rule of Two episode 24. Yes, getting up there. Pretty cool. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening, and may the Force be with you.
Always.